So, I'm going to discuss a passage that pretty much refutes the notion that once we're saved, we're always saved. Once we're saved, nobody can snatch us out of his hands. That type of teaching. You've heard that many times in church. Galatians 5:1. Stand fast, therefore, in the liberty wherewith Christ has made us free, and be not entangled again with the yoke of bondage. Behold, I, Paul, say unto you, that if you be circumcised, Christ shall profit you nothing. For I testify again to every man that is circumcised, that he is a debtor to do the whole law. Christ has become no effect unto you, whosoever of you who are justified by the law, ye are fallen from grace. Why does he say that? Because their hope now is in themselves. Their hope is in something else besides Christ. In the immediate context, it's specifically speaking to Jews and Gentiles who are early Christians in the church who are being circumcised. And Paul is telling them that if you do these things, you have to uphold the law. You're not under grace anymore. So it's up to you now for your salvation. Why does he say this? Well, for the next verse it says in verse 5, for we through the Spirit wait for the hope of righteousness. What's that righteousness? That's Christ. And the hope of being made perfect by faith. That hope we hope for is the return of Christ. We're hoping for something, and we're putting our hope and trust in Him who is righteous, who delivers us to righteousness. We're not hoping on law. So let's take it into a modern day context. People out there, Christians out there, who rely on money to provide for them, who sit there and watch the stock indexes every day, who work hard so that they can save up enough money for retirement, so that they're well provided for. Those who perhaps put their trust in their smarts, in their minds, in their intelligence. You're putting your hope in the flesh. The same with circumcision. You're putting your hope in the flesh. And what does Paul say? Christ has become no effect unto you. Well, that poses a problem for a lot of reasons. It poses a lot of problems even for Calvinists, because Calvinists would say that Christians will always be Christians because they're chosen, they're elected. Yet Paul's saying Christ has become no effect unto you now, because they were Christians, but now they've reverted to the law for their hope. In the same way, we as modern day Christians, if we put our hope in the flesh or in money or in anything like that, and our desires and hopes are to be rich, or our desires and hopes are to be fulfilled in whatever way in the flesh, it says Christ has become no effect of you. You're justified by those things, that flesh. and not by Christ, by the Spirit. And it says you are fallen from grace. I don't know how much more clear that can be. You can't fall from something you weren't in before. You were either in grace or not in grace at all. So Paul, if he was talking to non-Christians here, he wouldn't be saying you've fallen from grace. He would be saying you never had the grace to begin with. But it doesn't say that. It says they fell from something. Serious things to consider. I'm gonna have more videos on this stuff, but I'm just gonna, you know what? I'm telling you guys, I'm just gonna open my Bible and let God lead me to whatever He wants me to teach. If He wants me to continue with this kind of stuff, continue with it. Hope to see you soon. Thanks.